Okay, let's get started here with today's call. We were going to do this one on mindset for basically dealing with a changing market and what you have to do to get your mindset ready each and every day in order to be successful in this business. So a long time ago, my father and I guess it was in around March of 1999, when we joined the Mike Ferry organization, we changed our mindset like overnight. So, Dad, if you want to talk a little bit about where we were and how we signed up and we made a change and what we did each and every day and what you did each and every day to be accountable, to have the proper mindset to be successful.
Well, it was very, very interesting to start with. And I have to give the credit to my son because, we had been to program after program after program and sweat hogs, all the rest of them. Nothing seemed to work. It would give you a short burst of energy, and then all of a sudden you'd slide back to your own comfortable zone. When we hit and went to the Mike Ferry organization, they gave us a detailed plan on how to succeed. And it started with your mindset. And the mindset was that every day you would get up very early, you would exercise, you would go through your scripts, you would write down what you were going to do for that day, and then be accountable to yourself and to your coach as to what you were going to do. That being said, it took us probably 3 months. We would prospect every day, 3 hours a day. We sat in an office and looked at each other and we said, what the hell are we doing? Because it wasn't working. Well, at the end of that 3-month period, it started working and it never stopped, because what happened to us was we started to form the habit of consistency. That meant doing the same thing every day on a schedule, every day, even the days you didn't want to do it. That was the part that was really stressful, and you had to really push yourself to get out of that comfortable zone and move to the next level. Everybody wants to move to that next level, but are they willing to pay the price that it takes to do it? And that becomes a self-discipline item. You start that schedule. We started at 4:30 in the morning and walked for an hour, did our scripts while we were walking. We were at the office by 7:30, and we would prospect from 8:30 clear through. Now, I know you're going to say, well, you can't prospect till 9 o'clock. You can if you're talking to people that you know, and you know that these friends are willing to talk to you. It's the people that you don't know that you shouldn't prospect at 9 o'clock in the morning. That doesn't stop you from talking to business people, fellow agents that you might learn something from. There's all kinds of people that you can talk to from 8 to 9 o'clock. It gives you a leg up in making those number of contacts that you need to make, instead of quitting at 10 or quitting at 15. Look, Tim always likes to say, contacts make contracts. Well, there's nothing that's more true than that. You have to sift through many, many people till you find someone that knows someone that is interested or buying to selling today. And that's our job. So with that mindset, we would take our prospecting sheet on a daily basis, fill it out with a number of centers of influence, past clients, FSBOs and expireds. We called expireds and FSBOs every day, It didn't matter whether we talked to them yesterday, we would talk to them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday till they told us to stop calling or listed and gave us an appointment. Now, that sounds very harsh, but that's the reality of this business. If you really want to be great, you're going to have to really start paying the price to be great. I was 60 years old when this started, and I was willing to do it. Tim was willing to do it. We went from 20 deals a piece a year to over 200 deals in 1 year. It sounds like an easy success story. That took from 1999 to what was it when we hit that goal, Tim? 2006?
7, I think.
Yeah,
6 or
somewhere
7.
in there.
Yeah.
A long time. It didn't happen overnight, but you can build and build and build. And you know, there's only one secret, and that's believing in you. It's all about you. It's all about what you put in here. Are you saying to yourself every day, I'm going to be a great success? Are you saying to yourself, I believe I can make 200,000, 300,000, 400,000? Do you really, truly believe that? Are you writing it down? Are you trying to convince yourself? You know, you have three consciences. You have your conscious, which gives you your taste, your smell. You have your subconscious that you have when from your mom's womb to your adulthood, with things that you put in there. Some of the things that you put in that conscious are good. Some of them are bad. Some of them say, I can't do this. I just really can't do this. But that's not true. You can say to yourself in your creative conscience that I will do this. You start writing affirmations. You do, I think it's 20 a day. And you do that for 60 days. And all of a sudden, you'll create yourself a new habit. You can say to yourself, I'm going to make $10,000 in the next 2 months. All of a sudden, you start believing in it, it's going to happen to you. That's the mindset that you really have to make things happen in this business. It's not a bunch of baloney. It's the truth. I still do it every day of my life. You can ask anybody in this office. Yeah, I take my breaks and I have my time, but they're 15-minute breaks. I'm on a schedule that I want to do. And I don't mean to be talking all about me, but it's what you have to do to become the person you really want to become. I'm sorry to dominate, but I get wound up when I start talking about this stuff.
So, Dad, the mindset is a particular way of thinking or what's going on in your mind at a particular moment. So when we got into this program, and you and Jim Pedrick and I were sitting in that conference room in the basement of Jack Gone, and we started to practice the scripts and dialogues that Mike Ferry gave. What was our mindset when we first started reading those scripts to one another?
Oh, that this isn't me, it doesn't work.
Right. It wasn't me, it doesn't work. I can't do this, you know. But as you learn the scripts and learn the dialogues, and you train your mindset that this is what it's going to take in order to get the next appointment, in order to close the next deal, that's when you're going to change and you're going to be successful, is embracing those things and having your mindset in a different way. Is Brent on the call? I see Andrew there. Is Brent nearby? Okay. Ask him to hurry up if he could. So I wanted to talk to Brent about it. Let's go to John Hogan for a second. John, if you can unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
John, you have had a mindset for years about your conditioning and your health. What happens to you first thing in the morning when you wake up that you've been able to maintain such good physical condition? What's your mindset?
I don't know. I just like to start my days doing some type of cardio. Nothing crazy. Maybe some walking on a treadmill. I really don't do it for calories or anything like that. I really do it for my mind. I feel like it makes me a better version of me.
Good. Good. And Brent, if you could unmute yourself. Brent, you've had a transformation over the past year. You've lost 100 pounds and you've pretty much doubled the amount of business in the rental company. What was your mindset when you started all this, and where is it now, and how did you maintain that mindset throughout the past year?
Going back to basically what Poppy said in the very beginning, like everybody else, I'll address the weight loss transformation. Like everybody else, I've been up and down, up and down. I've tried every yo-yo diet that there is out there, but always slid back to my comfort zone. And this is just who I am, and this is just the way it's gonna be. And just a little over a year ago, I literally made the decision for myself that it's time for Brent Leddick. I changed my thinking. I started doing affirmations. And I just talked to somebody about this just about a week ago, and they're saying, well, how do you eat certain foods pretty much all of the time? And the biggest thing that I did for me is we all have to eat. Our bodies need food for fuel. And if you look at food itself for fuel instead of entertainment, we all start eating for entertainment to make us feel good about it. But if we wouldn't put something like that in our car, or we wouldn't do anything like that in an actual machine, but our bodies are the most complex thing out there. We have to fuel it with the right things. And everybody says, oh, I'm just going to eat this, eat that. We love ourselves enough. We always put food and something in our mouth. Why can't we make a good decision and put something good in our mouth? So that's what changed my mind in reference to the health. And to be 100% honest, when you start feeling good about yourself, you start feeling good about your business, and you start growing exponentially everywhere. Your home life, your faith, everything benefits because you have taken on a positive mindset.
Yeah, baby.
So can this positive mindset continue, Brent, so that you can double that business again within the next year?
It absolutely can, without a doubt.
It absolutely will?
Yes, it will.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Okay. Kong, you've taught classes, and I know Kathy's taught some classes with the scripts and dialogues from the Mike Ferry organization. What's your mindset about using those scripts and how those scripts help you get more business?
Yeah, those questions are so important. It's one of the things whenever the guys on the team would ask me to go in an appointment, and I ask them all the qualifying questions that are on those scripts, and they need to be able to answer those questions because they're so vital. Especially, have you talked to any other agents? Who? You got to ask all those questions. What do you owe? What is your motivation? You have to ask the questions so you know what you're getting yourself into, so you can help the client better. Actually, it's funny you mentioned Mike Ferry today, Tim. He had just had that superstar retreat, and I feel bad missing it because every time we go to one of those things, we come back and we're so full of energy. You do 5, 6, 7 deals right off the bat that first month when you get back. And I hate that I missed it this year, but we should make it a point to go to this next event that's closer.
Okay, good. And Kara, if we can jump over to you for a second and unmute yourself. You and I talk every Wednesday, and you are 100% committed, I feel, to your mindset. How are you dealing with the changing market in your mindset? Is your mindset that it's a negative, or is it a positive that it's not affecting you at all?
I don't want to say that it's not affecting me. It's affecting me in a way that I need to be better. So
Okay.
I go back and I hone in on skills that I know and I need to utilize them.
Okay.
And-
So
and
even
bring
though
them
the,
back.
even though the market's changing with the interest rates, the market we still have limited inventory. You are bound and determined with your mindset that it's not going to affect you or your numbers. You are going to be successful this year.
It's only going to affect me and my group in a positive way.
Yeah, perfect.
Mhm.
Perfect. Okay. Brooksy, you're juggling 3 kids and a whole lot of stuff here at the office with, your role as the vice president of our company and listing and selling. What is your mindset each and every day when you wake up, knowing what you got to deal with at home first before you even come to the office with your family?
Well, that dynamic is ever changing, and the only thing that I can control is myself in the way I think. So I make the decision to wake up on a positive footing every single morning. And a part of that for me is the fitness piece, like Brent and John. If I do something challenging to my body each and every day, all the hard aspects of life to me become a heck of a lot easier and less challenging, because they're not nearly as hard as what I put myself through exercise wise. So it helps me to take those challenges and really tackle them with more ease and confidence, because I try to stay in good shape and challenge myself in other ways, and gives me a positive mindset as a result.
Okay, good. Paula, if you could unmute yourself for a second. I see you there. I don't see Sue, but I just have a quick question for you, Paula.
Yes, Tim.
Welcome. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. So, Paula, you and Sue, for the longest time, had a builder developer that provided you with a lot of listings. And right now you're in between projects, hopefully at some point, and you've had to have the mindset to go back into the resale business. And I know you're working with Poppy on that through coaching. How is your mindset with knowing that you have this gold mine of people that you've sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of houses to? How is your mindset now of mining those people for future business?
It would be ridiculous for me not to go after those people because they all know me. And they've worked with me, and they have friends, and their friends have friends, and I've met a lot of these different people. So it's not as bad as, I'm not going to say it's not as bad as, but it's not like cold calling. It's more like warm calling because I know these people.
Yep. I mean, like I said, you've got this gold mine of database that all you have to do is work that database and be positive about that database, and you are going to continue to have success with working that database.
Right.
Shelley, how about you? You just moved over from one Remax to our Remax, and how is your mindset on how you're going to dig in and make some changes now that you're with our company?
Well, first off, this office is amazing. The people here have just been so supportive. So what I've done is gone back through the years and made a list, because I didn't really have a database. Nobody ever really talked to me about it much. And when I first started real estate years ago, Garmin Realty, we did a lot of these things, but you guys do it on a bigger scale, actually. So, and I kind of got away from it a little bit. It was always go back to basics. But now I realize I never really had a database that I could go through and pick out names. So now I've gone back through the years of all the buyers and sellers that I've had, and I'm making lists, and hundreds of them. So sending out cards and building the database. And I feel like a brand new agent, but with some knowledge tucked back in there somewhere, just trying to pull it all back out again.
Good. So you're rejuvenating yourself,
I
right?
am.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
am. It's
Good.
it is time consuming, and one of you had said that if you get started, what Poppy did, he said that you have to get started and you got to do the first steps, and it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of energy to sit down and do this stuff, but it's going to bloom. And I figure in a couple of months here, I'm just looking forward to the end result of what I'm doing right now.
Yep. It will definitely bloom. Donna Fleetwood years ago at our company said it's like planting seeds right now. You're farming and planting seeds, and then eventually those seeds that you've planted each and every day will start to germinate, and the business will just start flowing in because you're doing it every day, planting those seeds. Yeah. Seth, if you could unmute yourself for a second. Seth, you've been very supportive of our company and our agents for a long time. What is your mindset as far as what you want to do to support our agents to have more success?
Well, hey, my friend, thanks for calling on me. So I have to tell you, it's really just a contagious atmosphere. The more that everybody does, the more I want to do for everybody else too. So, I don't know specifically like what steps to do. I just know that I get up early in the morning, and we're all a little bit different. What Brooksy might do is different from what I might do, and Brent and vice versa, but we all each individually, I think, do something, and it makes everybody else, it's contagious and just speeds up the energy. So, I like to do more for the agents and making things easier for myself. And when I do that, I have time to create more reports and more time on my hands.
And some of the systems and programs that you've developed have definitely been in support of the agents. Your addendums on the fly, everything you can do to help support the agents. But you've got that mindset that you are there, and you seriously are committed to your position in your department. And we greatly appreciate the support that you give all the agents in this company. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. What goes around comes around is really what happens. So we're all in this together, all 75 agents, all 14, 15 plus staff people. So again, it's all kind of a good frenzy,
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Dad, anything else you'd like to talk about with mindset?
yeah, there's a couple of things here. Number one, Mr. Seth is very humble guy, and he is creating new programs. He's creating a new outlook. He shared with me a book over the weekend of what's going on with our company, and there's going to be new formats coming out for us and new ways to looking at all of the numbers and all of the things that he has. And kudos to you, as a wolf on Wall Street says, baby, you are really doing it right. Along with that, back to this thing, when you go to these scripts, a lot of the scripts have neuro-linguistic training in them, and they ask certain questions. If you sell this house, where are you going to go next? You see, the person that asks that question has to be a listener, because what the people say to you next tells you a lot of things. Tells you where they're going. It tells them how it tells you how they're reacting to a certain situation, so you can get a glance at their personality to know how they're thinking and what they're thinking. You got to find out, are they an analytical? Are they an expressive? Are they a driver? Are they an amiable? You've got to know who you're talking to. Those questions are developed in such a series to allow you to find out who that person is and what makes them tick. You're talking about finding out how to approach them. You can't approach them as you. If you're a driver and they're an amiable, it's like vinegar and oil going together. It just doesn't work. It's got to be that you turn into them. That's how the person with the most skills win in this competitive marketplace. It is so true that we have to be a great listener. Above all, if you remember that point, you're going to win a lot of games that you're not winning right now. Do not try to put yourself on them. You become them, and then you really become a winner. And that's the way it goes all through life. And you can do a better job. One of the great things I learned from Mike Ferry was how to be a better husband, because I became a better listener. And 65 years later today, still working.
Okay, well, thank you, Dad, and happy anniversary to you.
Thanks.
Yep. What I'd like to talk about next week is similar to the mindset, but a little bit different. I want to talk about attitude. And attitude's a feeling or a way of thinking that can affect your behavior. So if anybody gets a chance between now and next week, try to download on iTunes Earl Nightingale's Lead the Field and listen to at least the first chapter on attitude. And that's what we're going to talk about. I'll see if I can find it on the internet and send it to everybody.
Before we close up, I'd like to have this opportunity to welcome you, and just please give us one tidbit of information that you feel about mindset or you do yourself.
Hi, Gene. Sorry I missed your call yesterday. I was out in the mountains of Huntington County showing properties and I could not get good reception. As like Shelley, I'm creating my database from scratch, and it's taking a lot of time, but it's opening my eyes as to how much business I've lost in the past, and working towards just building the business again, reaching out to those customers, as someone said, as a warm call, and just developing the relationships all over again. So it's been kind of fun.
Great. Good for you.
Good.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And is Aaron on the call here? What's the date of our, is it August 26th that we're doing the luncheon at?
August 23rd.
August 23rd at the West Shore Country Club. Please
Yes.
put it in your books. We'd like to see you at the appreciation luncheon. And,
If you have not RSVP'd to me and you're planning on coming, please let me know.
okay.
All
So
right.
sounds good, everybody. Thank you for your participation this week on Mindset. And let's make it a great week.